How's it coming along, sweetheart? Damn, you work fast. I just didn't think you'd gotten to certain parts yet. Figured it might take a few more days. I know, I asked for expedited service, but I didn't think it'd be that expedited. Well, I kinda wanted to ask if you could change a few things in the plans before you actually started sewing everything together. Yes, I know, you warned me, and I'm stupid. But I really need something changed. I'll pay you extra if I have to. You wouldn't turn down more money, would you? Shouldn't matter where it's from. It's not like you'd get in trouble for it anyway. Plus, if I pay in cash, it'll be harder to trace back to you. You're just an innocent person doing your job. Nothing bad about that. Plus, if you really had any concerns about dirty money, you wouldn't have agreed to do this job for me, huh? Exactly. So, can a couple of changes be made? Maybe a few more elemental resistances, if possible. Like, all of them. I thought the basic package would be enough, but I've seen it in action and it isn't going to be enough. I mean, if I were the only one purchasing a suit from you, I think you would have been out of business a long time ago. Considering how much time I spent searching for a tailor I could trust to make me something that could meet my needs, I think I'd be able to notice when a certain hero is proudly wearing your product in the street for all of their enemies to see. The fabric is particularly annoying to cut, though, you know. No, that's a good thing. I'm just a little disappointed that the weaponsmith isn't living up to my standards. I might need to start looking around for a new one. It hurts to damage your work with all the effort you put in, but it has to be done, unfortunately. Otherwise, most of my fights will boil down to how much emotional damage I can do to my opponent, since any physical attacks would just bounce right off. There's only so many ways one can insult a person's mother, I'm afraid. I might have to start bringing up their love life instead. If they haven't said anything about it in passing, that's why. But even if they were doing well in that part of their life, I can't imagine you're close enough to be talking about those sorts of things. That's why you're only doing the bare minimum for them, right? So long as you're not doing that for all your customers. I don't want you to do a worse job. I want you to be better. For me. Is there anything that can be done to reinforce its defensive capabilities at this stage, or is it going to be too much work? How much are we talking? Then I guess we can discuss what the options are. What's the easiest modification you can do that doesn't give you too much extra work? Well, I've got to care about the person making something that's supposed to protect me. I don't want us to start having bad rapport with each other in case it leads to a liability. Now, why wouldn't I be nice to someone I like in the first place? The assurance that I can trust you is just a cherry on top of everything else. Point being, I like you enough to not want to put any additional stress on you, if it can be helped. And unfortunately, you're making it sound like I might have to. That's what I didn't want to hear. All that for a couple extra resistances, huh? I'm glad you're the expert then. I wouldn't have guessed it was that much. You know, I'm all for paying you more, but not to destroy your own work and start over. Leave that sort of thing to the experts. I already hate damaging your work as it is, but it has to be done. Your work is a little too popular with the wrong crowd. If things went my way more often, there wouldn't have to be any reason to destroy it to begin with. I'm not the one who usually starts fights. I try to mind my own business. But some people seem to think they should meddle in it. Still, I guess you'd be out of some good business if our jobs didn't involve a need for new outfits. I'd need another reason to pay you otherwise. Correction, I need another reason to come visit you. I could always spend money for reasons other than some new clothes for myself. Do you like coffee? Or maybe a movie? There's a few good ones that just came out, right? No need to work my magic when the crowds will conveniently disperse in my presence. Plus, I take it upon myself to pay all my minimum wage brethrens their dues. You get a much nicer normal experience when the staff expect to be paid rather than held up for ransom. I mean, it doesn't have to be normal if you prefer some spice added to your life, but I can at least make it a lot less stressful than it would be if a certain someone made you the same offer. Crowds everywhere and too many hit lists with your name on them. Not that I think they would ask you out. I don't see a bright future for you when you're both doing the bare minimum for each other as it is. The good news is that isn't what I've got in my plans for you. I'm giving you 100% and more. But for me to do that, I'd like you to return the favor. For my outfit, before anything else, I mean. I'm not expecting you to add anything extra. Just keep doing what you were already doing. The only thing I ask is that every stitch you add is done with love. That's not unreasonable, is it? Heroes are always going on about the power of love and how it motivates them to do better. If it's as strong as they say it is, why not give it a try for myself? It's a strong motivator for me to not get hit by anything. Without additional resistances, I'm vulnerable. So it's back to good old-fashioned dodging. I've got to put in the effort, not only for my own well-being, but for your work. What better way than to not get hit at all? I get to wear it for longer, which is always a plus. But the biggest caveat is that I'm paying you less in the long run. I don't mind making up for it by paying for a couple nights out, more than a couple if you're up for it. First and foremost, I gotta see the finished product before I make any commitments. So what's your estimate on when it'll be done? Just wondering in case you've got a massive workload. I'd rather you take your time and get it to me once the rest of your work is done. Then I can at least promise you a stress-free end to your day, since I won't be asking for any adjustments. Let me just check my schedule. Yeah, looks good for me too. Timing always matters when it comes to my job. Wouldn't want to get any unexpected calls, so it's better that I'm off duty. Plus, it gives me time to prepare any extra payment. Don't worry, I'm already planning on making up for any future revenue lost. Well, I'm sure you'll appreciate it. Take your time. I'll be back later. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this audio. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I want to thank BlueChan on Reddit for writing a lovely script. If you like this script and you want to see more of their work, check them out on Reddit. There's some information in the description below. And as always, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.